Hey guys, welcome back! So today we're doing something different. This is a project I've been working on for quite some time. My aim was to write a story set in the Victorian era that focused on the rules, the conventions, and the expectations that governed everyday life in that period. I've been fascinated by the Victorian era for a long time, particularly how its constraints shaped people's lives. This story allows me to share that fascination with you. If you enjoy the story, let me know in the comments. I am thinking about expanding it into a series of interconnected stories set in the same world. Also, feel free to pause the video at any point to consider the prompts. What do you think? What else would you like to see? And if you like what I'm doing in general, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future projects. Now, I've always been interested in writing historical fiction. Recently, I decided to combine that passion with my love for storytelling, so I began to sketch out a few ideas. I wanted to explore a time period that had its own unique set of traditions and customs, a place where the rules were very different from our own. That's when I hit upon the Victorian era. But I didn't want to focus on the major historical events or famous figures. Instead, I wanted to zoom in on the everyday lives of ordinary people and explore the intricate web of customs and conventions they had to navigate daily. I envisioned a story that would immerse the reader in the sights, sounds, smells, and manners of the time. Imagine the gas lights flickering on cobblestone streets, the scent of freshly brewed tea mingling with the aroma of horse dung, the rhythmic clip-clop of horse hooves echoing through the bustling city. All these sensory details came together to create a vivid backdrop for my story. But what about the plot? I wanted something that would reflect the complexities of Victorian life. So I settled on the age-old tale of courtship. I figured there was no better way to showcase the strict rules and traditions of the era than to follow a couple as they navigate the intricate dance of engagement and marriage. Then there was the question of characters. Who would be the players in this drama? I created Charlotte, a young woman of good breeding who finds herself courted by two very different men. Thomas, a gentleman of noble character, and Barton, a rogue with a questionable past. Each represented different paths Charlotte could take in life. Each embodied different values and expectations placed upon her. As I developed the story, I wove in other characters, each adding another layer to the social fabric of the time. There was Mrs. Fairchild, the hostess who held court in her drawing room. Mr. Hartley, Charlotte's brother, whose role was to protect his sister's reputation. Even the choice of names was deliberate. They were popular during the Victorian era and reflected the social standing and aspirations of the characters. Finally, there was the setting. I chose London, the heart of the Victorian world. Its grand palaces and bustling markets, its gaslit streets and crowded slums provided the perfect backdrop for my story. London was more than just a setting. It was a character in itself, shaping the lives and destinies of those who lived there. I wanted to capture the essence of London, the hum of activity, the stark contrasts, the blend of tradition and modernity. With all the pieces in place, I began to write. I drew upon my research into Victorian customs, manners, and mores, but I didn't want to make it a dry history lesson. Instead, I aimed to infuse the story with drama and intrigue. The result was a tale that was both authentic to the era and engaging to modern readers. Now here's the thing. While researching Victorian England, I came across something that really surprised me. During this era, there was a growing interest in the supernatural. Spiritualism, which believed in communicating with the dead, was all the rage. People were obsessed with mediums, and it became a significant part of everyday life. Initially, I wasn't sure how to incorporate this into my story. I thought about having one of the characters attend a seance, but it felt forced and out of place. Then I had a breakthrough. What if the story itself was haunted? Not literally, but figuratively. What if the looming presence of societal expectations and the weight of tradition cast a shadow over the entire narrative? That's when I started to develop the idea of reputation. In Victorian England, a person's reputation was their currency. It could make or break them. And this obsession with reputation became a driving force in the story. Characters had to constantly be on guard, watching their every move, afraid of what scandal might strike. It added a layer of tension and secrecy, making the story more intriguing. As I delved deeper into this idea, I realized that it also mirrored the restrictions placed on women during that time. Their lives were heavily regulated by societal norms, and any deviation could lead to ruin. This gave Charlotte, my main character, a sense of urgency. She had to find a way to navigate these rigid rules while still pursuing her own desires and emotions. This inner conflict made her more relatable and her journey more compelling. By weaving this theme of reputation throughout the story, I turned the narrative itself into a reflection of the haunting societal norms of the time. It became a story about the constant pressure to conform and the struggle to maintain one's identity in the face of adversity. Looking back, I'm glad I took that leap. It allowed me to create a story that was not only a product of my imagination, but also a reflection of an era that continues to fascinate us even today. I hope you enjoyed this exploration into the world of Victorian England as much as I did. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And remember, if you liked this, there might be more adventures waiting just around the corner. Thanks for watching, and happy reading.